I know some of you guys get a kick out of seeing the different tools that people have, and some of my stuff has already been packed up, but you can see I still have my pipe clamps hanging up here and over there, and some of my wrenches, as well as my mechanics roll away. But I wanted to focus your attention on this cabinet here, which I keep many of my carpentry and other kinds of tools in. The top shelf has my routers. I have four or five routers. Then the bottom section, let me slide this camera over here a little bit more. Bottom section, I have all these boxes organized according to what goes in them. And I used to work on the road a lot, and at one time for a year I did installations for Home Depot. So I had to have all my tools readily accessible, and I carried them all in the back of my truck, including my table saw and my miter saw and so forth. And so I had boxes for everything. This box here is got all my electrical stuff, mainly for doing automobiles. You can see all kinds of fittings and stuff in there. And I got them pretty well organized so I can find them when I need them. And most of the tools are up in the top. And if I can get this back together, the hinges were already broken on the bottom section. This was another cheapy find at the thrift store where I work. Because unfortunately that's the way people are when they donate things. Oftentimes they're broken. And this one has some of my drills in it, my electric drill, one of them. And I got a lot of my bits and stuff, not all of them. You can see pop riveting stuff, one of my drills and a guide and so forth down in there. And the reason I'm digging through this cabinet is because I need to get, not this box has all my carpentry hand tools in it, all kinds of bits and balls and planes and you name it. The bottom has hammers and saws and different kinds of measuring devices, all kinds of specialty stuff, coping saws, fine finish saws, spoke shaves, doing fine finish work, which is what I enjoy doing, amongst other things. But this is the box I was going for all along. Naturally, it was the one in the back. This one has my sanders in it, because I need to use a sander on our project. Probably use both. This one has my belts in, belts in here too. My belt sander is actually in another box. So I thought you'd be interested in seeing that. And had to dig through it anyway. So we'll put this stuff back in the back. The sander's in the front where I can get at them. Well, you might be wondering what this is. All it is a piece of pegboard. But you notice the marks on it. And if I was making this shelf unit for myself, this bookcase for myself, I wouldn't use these tracks that I'm using. The only reason I'm using those tracks is because that's the way my dad did it 30 years ago, and they want this to match the one that he did over 30 years ago. I would use this as a drill guide for, let me swing this camera down here so you can see where we're going. I would use this for a drill guide for laying out, and I have a drill that fits these holes and a stop that goes on that drill so that I can space the holes for movable shelving pegs. any distance I want, and all I have to do is just keep sliding them out. And I have one peg that if I'm doing a long unit like this, I would have a peg in one of the holes I'd already drilled at the top of that section, and drill these up and then slide it up, put another peg in and slide it up, and I've got them spaced apart either this wide, this is a standard, pretty much a standard width for a bookcase, or if it was something narrower that was going to go on for like a curio cabinet or something like that, I would use this width. So very simple. One of the tricks of the trade. Don't tell anybody I told you.